Hello, our friends.
Hello.
The Joe and Joe show is back. This is our second episode, and we're so excited. We want to say thank you so much for the last show. We are so overwhelmed by the comments. I mean, I have to read this, okay? Because I have people from Kigali, from Rwanda, commenting about our show.
Wonderful.
And Denise Kayitesi from Kigali, murakoze cyane. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Ouais, merci.
What else?
Obrigadinho.
Oh,
Obrigadinho.
voilà.
Portuguese.
Oh, we are so rich here in Canada. I mean, it's a bilingual country, so we have been blessed with that. Thank you so much. Who else? Jennifer Beal. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for your comment. Yeah. We're so grateful for every one of you guys who's joining Joe and Joe show. And last week, I said I was excited, not nervous, but maybe it was both. So I'm being vulnerable here. Vulnerability is very important, right, Joe?
Yes.
What did you say last week? I think you said it's a mixture.
I was honest. Yeah, the first time. And it's just, we're learning and we're growing, right? With you.
Yes, with everyone, we get to know you, you get to know us, so it's amazing. Now, speaking about gratitude, people, what did I say last week? I said, please, let's pause for a moment, because this life is busy, especially when you live in Canada, because we've lived in Africa, where life is, pace is quite a bit moderate, and here we're so busy with family, with work, with the social media. I mean, you are like going through an email from work, and all of a sudden you get a monkey swinging. It's like, oh, I want to see what this monkey's doing or saying, and before you know it, you have 2 hours on the social media following a monkey.
We are overwhelmed, right?
Yes.
But we have to choose wisely, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we be reminded, right?
Yeah.
Of the right things. What's most important things in life? We need to be reminded.
Absolutely. I was reading something today and was talking about gratitude because I'm obsessed with that word. Listen, all of us here in this world, we are seeking for happiness, right? And happiness starts from within.
Absolutely.
It's gratitude. So I was thinking, what does that mean to be happy? I am happy because I am grateful. First, you are happy because happiness is like a feeling, right? When you wake up in the morning, you're having a bad day before 10 o'clock. You
need
heard
your
the bad
coffee,
news.
right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
need your coffee.
You got to get your caffeine in, It's all in the head, though, because sometimes, wait, I didn't have coffee, but I didn't think about it. And I'm functioning. It's 3 o'clock. It's all in our heads, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking of gratitude. Let me pause in the morning before my day starts. Where are the 3 things that you're grateful for? What do you think, Joe?
I'm grateful to have my husband home. Yes. But if I want to be picky, I can say, well, he's home on disability. Then I'm not happy and I'm frustrated, but he's home. He's spending time with my little girl, our little girl, Aliyah. So we're really looking at the positive things among the crazy things.
That we can
pick
be
the
miserable
ones, exactly. Yeah. So that's being gratitude. You'd be thankful. Because, well, he's home, he's not working, and he's feeling sick. But the other side of the positive part of it, he's spending time with Aliyah. He picks her up at school, and she comes home, Daddy's home,
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that.
I think my mom at one point, she was talking about gratitude, which she lives every word, is that gratitude makes sense of yesterday. It gives us an ability to appreciate today, and it gives a vision for tomorrow. So from within and out. Because if you're expecting to be happy first, your feelings before noon, you're okay because you got your caffeine in, right? And at noon, you are grumpy because you're in traffic. I mean, Jocelyn just came from work. Oh, God bless her heart.
Yeah. It's not easy.
We're grateful for that.
Yeah, we are.
So now let's go back to why we're here and the stories we need to share with you. Last 2 weeks, we talked about a woman. And by the way, today, what is our thing? We're celebrating women because we know the past 2 weeks we went through International Women's Day, correct?
Yay, women! We love you.
Yes. Yes.
We
There
love
must be
us.
a woman in your life that's driving you. That is like your engine that's doing something. It could be a mom. It could be a sister. It could be a mother-in-law. Please love your mother-in-laws.
Oh,
It's
yes.
very important.
Oh, yes.
They're part of families.
You got it
so
right.
you got to love the girls, okay? Men out there, yeah, girls are very important because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I have my son and my daughter. So we do quite a bit work when it comes to taking care of our family. So I appreciate that woman in your life that's doing something.
How about you send us a story about who is your role model?
Yes.
You know, send us a picture, send us a little story about that person who, when you talk to them, you just get something back, positive, something wise, something encouraging. Share that with us. That would be really awesome.
And I
right,
think
Joe?
we do have Joe and Joe Twins at gmail.com. Please go there and send us your comments. You're that one woman who's doing something significant. I think they're going to appreciate that. So thank you so much. The other person that I want to say thank you is Hubert Hateyekimana. Thank you for your comment. We're really appreciating your comments, and it's an encouragement too, right? Because honestly, we've never done this show before, but we are learning and we're growing, like Justin said, and it's something that I learned that actually breaks down my fears of being here, making mistakes and failing, which you need that. You need to fail because that's showing that you are actually doing something towards succeeding in life. Is that I thought, okay, so I am learning. Yes, you only can get good at what you are doing. If you're not doing, you're not growing, you're not failing towards your vision. So you know what? Let's fail over and over. Just have grace and mercy on your comments, okay? Tell us the truth. If you see something we need to change, that's fine. We can take that, right, Joe?
Of course, yeah. We need to learn so we can grow. For sure.
So today, speaking about International Women's Day, I thought that Jocelyn could share something about that woman who's doing something, who has done something in her life. Among your comments, you're going to send us later. So who is that woman that made a significant something in your life, and what did they do for you?
I think most of my friends, they know. My mother, Césarie Soumiza. A month ago, Michael, my husband, as you know, he had a terrible accident April 21st last year. I can't believe it's going to be a year next month. So I was really feeling stressed out and you know, just need that person to lift me up. So I spoke to my mom. I'm just a little bit stressed out, and she tells me, so what's going on? And sure enough, she said, Jocelyn, this is something I want to share with you, and just share it with Michael. She gives me the story of an eagle and how eagle teaches their eaglets to fly. So he goes to the top of on the highest you can be, pushes the little baby, the eaglets, and then as they drop down, the eagle goes down, flies faster than the babies, and then he spreads his wings, and as the baby goes down, that moment, the darkness, the babies are thinking, probably we're gonna die, we're gonna crash. Why are mommies doing this? But that moment, they're desperate, but there's a good things happening. They're learning how to fly. Mom is there. So mom said, to me, that's God. When Mike or anyone who is listening there in that moment, unknown, I don't know. What's my future? What am I going to do? That's when God is looking for you. That's the moment. He's actually closer than ever.
Yes.
So she gave me that encouragement, that word, and I went to share with Michael. I think I last on that for a month. I was that's wonderful. You know, strong and saying, Mom, thank you. Always have the right things to say at the right time. That woman.
You need that woman.
Exactly. You know what? I was telling my friend yesterday that we should go more to elderly people who are older than us than Google. You know, when you want advice, when you want encouragement in your life, do you really want to go Google, or do you want to go to your mom and dad, your grandma and grandpa?
Aunts.
Right.
Absolutely.
Aunts.
Your in-laws and everybody.
So my mom, she really put the energy in me, and then it was such a beautiful thing. So even when you're there in that moment, when you're falling, you're not alone.
Trust.
That's when he's closer than before.
I love that story.
Wasn't that beautiful?
And I can't believe her mom is my mom too. That's wonderful. Well. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so let's keep going and sharing these stories, and they're wonderful stories. And here's another one that is, you're just going to be, wow. So I mentioned in our last show that we took a team of 30 people from Canada and US, a couple, Jim and Sharon. Thank you guys, you're awesome.
Yeah.
And we were there for a couple weeks. Oh my goodness. I mean, we did a lot of work. We got our hands dirty and we loved on some kids. But there's a 103-year-old woman, and you can see her on the screen with her little stick. That woman was found completely homeless. Her shack, her home, on the ground. Her grandchildren, they had no food, no school. And when Shelter Them got into her life, we gave her a home. We sent her children to school, and we gave them a living, a life. So when we visited her in November, it's what she said. I didn't realize I was a human being. I thought I was an animal until I was treated like a human being by Shelter Them and the team. And her story was her shocking story. She's never slept on a bed. She slept on the puddles, on the ground for 103 years. Oh,
can you imagine?
My goodness. Put your hands up or please send us a comment if you're grateful for having a bed.
Oh, yeah.
Really? I know Jocelyn and I, when we were growing up, at one point, our bed was made out of grass. I think our mama told us to be grateful for that, wasn't it?
Yes,
and
for
she
sure.
said, when I woke up in the morning, I wasn't sure if I was dreaming or if my brain was intact because I thought I was floating up in the air.
Just
Can
sleeping
you
on
believe
the
it?
mattress,
103-year-old woman.
Yeah.
But a small action of love, compassion, giving gave her probably, hopefully, another 103 years. I know I'm not. I'm just kidding. This is not an Old Testament where people lived hundreds and hundreds of years. But
It's not beautiful that she's ending on a good note just because of Shelter Them. People who are donating, giving, so someone can sleep on the mattress. Somebody can have food on the plate. What a beautiful thing.
And just to go back, I meant to say, by the way, last week when I shared the story of Aisha and her 3 children that we found homeless, broken. You can see her picture if we can get it. Her bones were kind of sticking out. The kids were sitting down on a muddy floor. And within 3 days, guys, you need to be proud of yourselves. The people who went to shelterthem.com, who went to our Facebook as well to donate. The money has taken Aisha from where you see her on that picture into a new home. And look at that picture. She's smiling, and that actually in her living room, welcoming people to say thank you for giving me a new life with my 3 children. I hope to be someone.
Apparently, Josephine, she couldn't speak. You know, when you're overwhelmed, you can't even say thank you. She was crying about the cry with the joy and peace, and she was amazed. Is this really my life? Just because a few people got together, just donate either $10,
$1,
$50, or $100. Collectively, they put Aisha in a home with her 2 twin boys, and the youngest
Twins.
was twins.
Yes,
Exactly.
that is really love.
And what a beautiful, successful
Thank you.
story. You know, as we continue to hear horrible stories here and there, but we need to know there is a good, not only
in the world.
evil, right?
Yeah.
And there's the angels among us.
Absolutely.
Isn't that encouraging?
We need to share more of the good news to people because people are afraid to have children. People, like my daughter who's 13, she's like, I don't know if I want to get married and have children because all the women around me and the people around me, they're talking about divorce. They're talking about how all the children are doomed into technology and everybody turning to robots. And so what is the message we're sending out there to our future generation now? They need to be afraid of having children and families, which is really the future of our humanity. And so the show Joe and Joe show is to bring gratitude, be grateful for what you have, and appreciate tomorrow, have a vision for tomorrow, like I just mentioned earlier, so we can raise children who actually have faith in humanity and good and giving. Listen, I was reading about companies that are into giving, and one of them is not far from here, is Panera Bread. It's not it's
right.
Canary Bird in Mississauga. We go there to have meetings to these people. Sometimes we want to get involved with Shelter Them. And if you have expertise, marketing, social media, PR, whoever you are, and you want to be involved in Shelter Them and give your knowledge,
welcome.
your money, please, yes, do that as well. And Shelter Them is just based on volunteerism, and 93% of every money that's given to Shelter Them goes exactly to Aisha, to the 103-year-old woman. We make real difference in real lives. So, and this is what the show is about, right? It's gratitude,
Giving, sharing
sharing
your knowledge.
stories. You know, like that's just wonderful.
It's
So
beautiful.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
Are
me
you?
too. I am
love it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love this life of waking up in the morning and knowing that you're not only, you know, living your own life with your families, but you are togetherness with others. As you see people going up, then that is a pleasure to me. That is my joy.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that
And,
is
yesterday we had Jennifer Beal in my house, and we were just talking because she's a woman who's so wise and she knows so much, and we learned from her. And we just got into talking about different perspectives from the Western world and Africa, where we're from, or the third world countries. And we're talking about how it's dangerous to think, oh, I am independent. I don't need anybody, or I am dependent. I only get what they give me. No. We're talking about going from dependent, which is good. We got to depend on God.
You can
that
have
is
both.
We're gonna have both. But this is what I learned from reading a book that I love so much from Stephen Covey, is that we must go from a place where we're not just independent, but together be interdependent, where we can help one another while we're independent. And I think that's what we want for the world, whether it's the Western world, where, you know, in the subway station, you're walking to say, by the way, would you like to have my seat, please? And somebody's like, excuse me, do I look old to you? I honestly did that once. I was sitting down and I saw a lady who is an elderly lady, and how I was raised with my mother. You respect elderlies and be generous.
And we should.
It wasn't coming from a place of like, you're broken or anything. It was like, would you like to take a seat, please? Oh my goodness. She was like so offended by me and by going, excuse me, do I look sick to you or old? I'm like, no, I didn't mean that. That's fine. Anyway, go from that place where you can be given, you can give without thinking, oh no, excuse me, I'm independent, like I can do it on my own. No, let's go from there and be real. So, I mean, 30 minutes goes so fast, it's incredible. And just one more thing we wanted to share is this opportunity that Shelter Them was given to build a community center in Bugesera district. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, this was an amazing opportunity. And this is where our 103-year-old woman is living. And we want to help people, so many single mothers with the children. They're going to benefit at this community center that we are building. So please go to shelterthem.com, donate, give your fruits of a gratification. $1 could count. Listen, we're running a campaign right now. I don't know if we can see this. We don't have that on our screen, but that's all right. And we're talking about schools and businesses getting involved through their customers, where we can have your hearts, the hearts for Rwanda. And this is to remind us that the genocide against Tutsi in Rwanda in 1994 killed 1 million people. This is a genocide against Tutsi, and this was planned. We have a Romero Dallaire who was running the military there. He tried to get involved, and other people who know from so many books he has written. And so that land, believe it or not, in 1994, we visited that community before Shelter Them started to build. And this is what we learned. It's heartbreaking, but we're doing something about it. 50,000 people were killed between 3 a.m. and 11 a.m. 50,000 people. Okay? And this is a community that Shelter Them has a land to give opportunity to women and children, so they don't have to wait until the 103 to sleep on a mattress.
Can you allow me to say
Please.
that when you donate for the current project we're doing in Bugesera, what you just heard, the history behind it, your donation will help build a brand new community center, help educate more children, provide nutrition for at-risk children, which are so many, a lot of single mothers. I was there last year. I saw that. It will empower families with employment and
great.
help parents with healthy parental skills.
That's wonderful.
Together, we can build this community. The foundation, actually, which
It's on the
30
go.
Canadians, it's on the go. We saw it last year. I had the brick on my head saying, let's do it. Together we can make this happen. So when you go to our website, www.shelterthem.com, you can go through the Hearts for Rwanda donated. There's an option there. You can go to our monthly donations. Make your donations. Let's make this community to remember strong, and them, they will remember that we care.
Absolutely.
Isn't
That's
that
wonderful.
beautiful?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people know the history of Rwanda for the heartache and the brokenness. But listen, that has been 25 years and they felt forgotten. The whole world was probably focusing on the most important people. And now we're saying, we're here. We're available for you. And considering that Jocelyn and I from Rwanda, we have the root there, that's even more for us because we speak the language. Murakoze cyane, Imana ibahe umugisha. And these are the people from Kigali, like Denise Kayitesi, who made a comment on our last show saying, you know what, speaking about women who made a difference in our lives, she made a comment that, Mom, your mom is the best. She was my teacher and she has changed my life. So these are the people that are commenting on our shows. Please continue to do that on @Joe and Show on Facebook. Visit that on our website, shelterthem.com. Again, like this show is really giving opportunity for us, me and Jocelyn, to share our stories and to allow our guests, which we're going to have that posted soon, you come and share your heart, your story, what you're doing with your gratitude and what you're doing in the world. Even here in Canada, people, we don't have to fly and go so far away in Africa to make a difference. There's so much happening here, even in Canada, in Toronto. You can help your community get involved. So let's live a life with gratitude, and remember, happiness does not come from the outside where everybody is trying to do something from the outside, drinking more, partying more, and all these things. They're good if you manage to do them from the inside out. And we want something, we want to be happy, but let's first start being grateful inside our hearts. And I think that's all we're all about here.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, everyone. Continue to make your comments and to tell us what you think. And please allow us just to let you know our show is every 2 weeks. The next Monday that we're coming back, continue to follow. Send your comments on shelterthem.com. Subscribe. Send us your emails. We have updates and updates. Do that. And we're so thankful that Go Live TV is the application that you need to download to continue following the show, Joe and Joe. And we're so grateful for everything today. I mean, the sun is coming out. People, spring is in the air. That's one thing today I thought, thank you, God, the sun, the spring, and we're grateful for all the 4 seasons we get in Canada. Isn't that wonderful?
It is beautiful. So again, we invite you to continue watch our show. We share the stories. As I hear, story brings healing.
Yes.
Speak out. You know, some people, they're living that life of just depression and not willing to speak out because there's a lot of judgments, there's a lot of masks, but we want to be ourselves.
Yes.
Speak out. Let's share our hearts, and that's going to grow us as a family. You're our family.
Absolutely.
We're all families.
Yes.
We're brothers and sisters. I'm there for you. You're there for me.
Yes.
I need you. You need me. So let's do that together.
Interdependence.
Absolutely.
And we have more guests here to share the stories of a gratitude. Remember, happiness comes from within, so let's share that through our stories, giving, and make the world a better place. Thank you so much for joining the Joe and Joe Show. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and our comments are much appreciated. Thank you, and have a wonderful summer.
Yeah.
And spring.
And spring around the corner.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.